I'm making this video to show you a few ways you can change your supine twists. A lot of times in class I say yogi's choice, and then I notice people looking around the room because they don't know any other supine twist besides putting the knees together and putting them on the other side. And that is a great supine twist. There's nothing wrong with that. However, you might like a different variation if we give it a try. So I'm going to turn around so you can also see the legs from side to side. Sometimes when we video supine twist, you only see us when we are on this side, but you don't see what's happening on the other side of us. So I'm going to spin it around, take a moment. On your carpet, you don't need a mat for supine twists. I actually do supine twists in bed before I turn out the lights. They are great. I love supine twists. So this is your opportunity to just enjoy a few different supine twists as we go through different variations. Now before we get started, make sure you're laying down comfortably on your back. Knees can be bent. Take a few minutes to find your breath. You can sigh out anything you want here. If it's just tension, the whole day. And then go ahead and bring those knees into chest. And we will start with the traditional supine twist of just knees together. I open out my arms, I drop my legs to one side. A lot of times in class, your teacher will tell you to look the opposite way. But sometimes this just doesn't feel good on the neck. So you can always look up at the ceiling or turn your head towards your knees. Now notice that both shoulders are on the ground. If you start rising up, you can always get a pillow or a blanket to set the knees on so the shoulder stays down and support the legs. If you don't like your feet touching, you can always move that leg out, the top leg off the ankle. I have really, I call them knobby ankles, but I don't like when my ankles grind on each other. Breathe here. And also if your leg feels like this hip is straining, that there's too much tension, you can slide a blanket or a pillow underneath the knees and give it a little bit of separation. And in these twists, we just think about letting the body relax, letting the body melt into the floor, letting the bones get soft. The one thing you don't want to do if the yoga teacher is walking around turning off lights or getting warm towels is start to like move your neck and crane it around, looking back. Just keep the neck in a nice neutral position or twisted to the side. We don't want the chin coming up to the chest or the chin going backwards and looking behind you at what everybody else is doing. And if you're doing this at home, obviously it's the kids who are walking behind you or mine going, what are you doing right now? Don't move the neck. Take an inhale. We pull in the belly, the core, to bring our knees back up to center. Here's a nice little hug, a tug. Bring them back into chest if we want. You can always make circles. Like if you had a crayon and you're making circles on the ceiling, bringing the knees in to the chest and then pushing them away or the other way. Sometimes people like to rock back and forth side to side, but taking it to the opposite direction. Again, legs come down. I choose to make sure my ankles aren't rubbing, but my left or the opposite shoulder of where I'm going is still down on the ground. In this case, I've brought my knees to the right, so I'm thinking about that left shoulder, making sure it is planted. And again, if you need to move, block, bolster, pillows, blankets, bringing them over to the other side to give yourself the best twist for you. And if you want to look over opposite fingertips or same direction as the knees, that doesn't matter. Just find what feels good. Sigh out anything you don't need. Anything that's dragging you down, making you unhappy, letting it go. In yin, we talk about the gallbladder and liver meridians running through the sides of the body. And those organs usually hold our anger and our frustration. So twists are a great little way to get some more circulation through those meridians, move the chi through the body, that energy, life force. And sigh out the junk. Take your last inhale and exhale. Inhale, pull the belly in, bring the knees up. I'm going to go to our next supine twist, which is a pigeon, or what some of us know as figure four. So drop that left foot down to the ground and bringing the right leg up straight first. Stretch the hamstring and then bend the knee, putting right ankle onto left knee. A lot of the times we thread the needle here and then we'll let go and drop everything to the ground before we get into Shavasana. But I love these twists. So nice and easy, I scoot my booty just a little bit to the right side to give my body some room to drop everything to the left. Flexing the foot nice and hard, slowly bringing the foot down to the ground. Again, my shoulders stay on the ground the whole time. Now, if the foot doesn't want to come all the way down because it's too much of an intense stretch, this is much more intense on the sides than the first one we did. You can always put a block or a bolster underneath this foot, a blanket or a pillow, so the foot rests on something. You don't want to just hold it here. You want it to put it down. Go ahead and breathe. Sighing it out again. Thinking about relaxing tension. Sometimes that bottom glute, we have it really nice and tight as we're in this twist, and we forget to ever relax that glute. And we're just holding this position and sometimes just letting it go. And you can even see the difference of when I'm squeezing my glute and really like protecting the body, propping the body up, not letting it relax, compared to letting it go and relaxing, which feels so much better. And you'll decide if you want 5 breaths, 8, 2 minutes, whatever you want here. Take it, enjoy it. But we'll take one last breath, sighing it out. Pulling the belly in to lift up the legs. Now, if you want that counter stretch a little bit, you can always head to the other side, but this is not my favorite way to do the pigeon twist. A supine pigeon twist, I guess. But I've seen it done this way. Again, not my favorite, so I really don't promote it ever in class. Taking the leg straight up to the ceiling, flexing, nice. And bringing the foot down, switching feet, bringing the other foot up. Flexing it nice, bending the knee. Right now I have left ankle on top of right knee. Lift up, scooch over to the side that you're not twisting to, and then letting the feet come over and down. Again, shoulder stays down, foot finds floor, block, blanket, whatever it needs to find. And sometimes you might want to change the arms up a little bit. We do this long cross with the arms and keep them here. But a little bit of difference changes. And see if you like something different. A lot of time people in class like to feel that diaphragm, inhale, exhale, expanding. Me personally, I'm a cactus girl. I like the field goal position of having my arms bent a little bit. And we're not really working arms here. We're getting into that side body. Take your last inhale and exhale on the side. Inhale, pull the core in, lift up the body. If you chose to enjoy letting the knees fall the other side, go for it. Again, not my favorite. Doesn't mean it doesn't have to be your favorite. You might love it, and that's great. Do what feels good for you. Extend the foot to the ceiling, a nice flex, bending the knee down, bringing these in to chest. Heading back over, knees bent. You can always set them down and then choose to extend long. You can keep the bottom leg bent and go ahead and grab a toe or the outside of the foot if you're looking for a really great stretch in the leg. Just depends on what you're looking for here with that leg extended. Some people aren't capable of getting that foot up to the hand. They use a strap. And if that's the case, you can always just keep both legs long or just the top leg long, almost as if you were going to grab it. But whatever feels good here, giving your body that nice stretch it needs. Letting go. If you'd like to look at the foot, again, this is like the 10th time I've made a video where the squirrel is taunting me at the bird feeder. Or looking away, giving a little stretch into that neck. Whatever feels best here, enjoy. Take the last breath here, big inhale and exhale. Now for me, the way I get out of this one, I don't bring everything up together. I let go of the foot, bring it back down to bent legs. Squeeze core, pull knees up. Nice stretch here. And then head to the other side, dumping it over first and then deciding what you like. If it's just a leg extended, two legs extended, grabbing a foot, whatever this side calls for. Usually by the time I get to supine twists, thinking about holding on to a foot and clenching, just kind of not interested in. So if I do, I usually do the two legs to the side, maybe just one. Again, totally up to you and what feels good, what your goal is, what you're looking to do, what your body needs today. It might be totally different than what you needed last week or even yesterday. But just having fun and changing things up. Big inhale and exhale. Bend the knees together, pull in the core, bring the knees up to center. Beautiful stretch here. And maybe now I'll rock side to side since we've done a few. Every time I go to the side, that squirrel is literally watching me do yoga right now. He's not even eating the seeds anymore. Being very careful to head into your cat pulling its tail. the easiest way for me to do this and explain this is to drop the knees low down to the left. And I'm going to bring the top leg, and whichever it is, up and grab the bottom leg. Again, this is another one where you don't want to be leaning up and grabbing that foot. If the foot doesn't want to come up to the booty, it doesn't have to. You don't have to grab the leg. You can just have these legs down in more of a stag and the hand up top, pulling the knee over. And you're definitely going to feel this more in the low back area. But if you do like the cat pulling its tail, you can always look opposite direction. This one, I don't like moving my head. I just keep my head up. Just feels weird turning it. Now to get out of this one, letting go of the tail part, the bottom leg, and slowly bringing the knee up into the chest, and then the other one, nice and slow. And heading to the opposite side for this one, bending both the knees first, grabbing bottom if I want, opposite hand on the knee. And here I can already feel my shoulders pulling up. That this side, my low back, feels a little bit more tense. So I'm just going to bend the knee, open up the arm, and let that bottom foot go. This side doesn't want to pull the tail. One last breath, sighing it out. If you are holding the bottom foot, let the bottom foot go. Bringing the right foot up to center. And pulling knees in. And for the last one, shoelace. I like holding shoelace here. I really don't like twisting in shoelace. But if that's something you want to try, nice and easy, bringing the legs over. And almost in this pretzel-like wrap that my legs are doing. Again, shoulders, most important, are staying on the ground. It really doesn't matter what we do with our legs as much as it matters what we're doing with our torso, making sure the shoulders and are on the ground, the chest is facing up. The leg part, whatever we switch or turn or wrap around, it's really just getting into the glute most of the time and stretching that leg just a tiny bit more. It's up to you to find your favorite, what you like most. Now for this one, I just kick that top leg out a little bit long and then bring both the knees in. Tug if you'd like, hug if you want, and wrap that knee over. Again, I love shoelace like this. I can just feel it so much in my glute. It is by far becoming one of my favorite stretches at nighttime. But I'm staying here, so we should be twisting over. So dropping that leg over, nice and easy, nice and slow, keeping the shoulder on the ground. Legs are in this twirly, pretzel-like, wrapped up position. If this is a lot for your knee, and I have a torn meniscus on this side, so I'm trying not to press the knee down, you can always put a block under the knees to give it just a little bit of lift and comfort of bringing the floor up to the knee. But if you do have knee injuries, this one definitely puts a little bit more strain on the knees itself, especially down low in my knee. I can feel that the most. It's not painful, but I just feel the strain there. Last breath here, sigh out, whatever you need to, letting it all go. Slowly kicking the leg out and bringing the knees in. Being gentle always with your body. And hopefully you head into your Shavasana or get ready for bed. I hope you enjoyed all these twists and variations. Try them, do it often. Thanks for joining me.